Okay. So the question is, how do I know him? We all believe that. Is there a call coming? Okay. If we all know that, if we all assume that we believe in God, how do I know him? How? That's the question. Any answers?
What's that?
Latest.
Yeah.
Yes, my question is also the same, Srinivas.
I mean, also that it's like the creation of the universe as like a basis, and you can see that there's no other explanation. So there's nothing else that you can say about. Yeah.
No, I didn't get it. Say that again.
So like if you
Louder.
use like the creation, like the whole creation as like a plate, then like the only reasonable explanation would be God. Like so that's how
Yeah. So you're saying when you see this creation, God has created, but how do you know God? How do you know about God?
You have established that there is God. Whatever example you're giving, you have established that there is God, and now we believe in God. So
Yeah.
there is God. Now, how do you get to know him?
Yeah. Now, when you go and look in the mirror, you know that you exist. Okay. But if somebody wants to know about you, how do they know about you? Okay. Huh?
It is
Yes, see,
it's our belief.
creation is there. So
Yeah, creation is there, but
Hiding, right?
huh?
God is hiding, right? So we don't.
No, God is not hiding.
we are not able to see him. We are not able to see him. We are not able
Yeah, that's what hiding means, right?
Yeah, no, he's not hiding.
Us is our prayers.
Yeah, we choose to ignore. Yeah, is that Tanuka? You're saying something?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
through our belief or through our prayers that we do, like we hope for something to happen. And when it happens, then we feel like, oh, it's a miracle or something. So, but that's what God shows through him, like, no, he's there. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's our speculation, right?
Yes.
That's a good point. Speculation. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking for something like this. Speculation. Okay, just remember that word.
you need instruction or guru, maybe someone to guide you.
I think the question is like, how do we acquire knowledge in any case, not just about God, but
So some books, some scripts, some.
That's good. Instructions from guru, books, scriptures. Okay. So these are two things. Remember. Okay. Tanuka said speculation, and Anoshna said Arushika. Okay. I don't know why I'm getting confused with Anoshna. And my daughter has a friend Anoshna. Okay. Arushika. Okay. Arushika said instructions, scriptures, books, guru. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else think that they are God? Part and parcels of God. Okay, very good. You have next level of knowledge. We are only learning about God, and you have next level of knowledge. Part and parcel of God. Good, very good. Okay. Meditation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shut off everything, and then
Okay. That's also a good point. Okay.
Becoming conscious that God exists and wondering. Then you seek the Guru or Bhagavad Gita. Becoming conscious is first platform.
Becoming conscious of God. Okay. Becoming aware of God. And then, okay. And then you will get realization. Okay. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody? One last time. Through prayers. Okay. Yeah. When you pray to God, he reveals. Okay. That's also a good point. Okay. Now let's see. How do we know God? So there are three ways to acquire knowledge. Okay, according to Vedas, there are three ways to acquire knowledge. Anything in this world, okay, any knowledge, whether you want to learn about the phone or learn about the flowers, fruits, trees, people, any knowledge that you obtain in this world, it happens in three different ways. Okay, so let's see what are those three different ways of acquiring knowledge. Pratyaksha Praman, sense perception. So Pratyaksha Praman or sense perception is you acquire knowledge using your senses. Okay, so you smell a flower, and then you come to an understanding that the flower smells very beautiful. Okay, and then you touch something and you come to an understanding that it's soft or hard. Okay, so you learn something about that item, and you taste rasagulla, and then you come to an understanding that it is sweet. So you use your senses, and I mean, all these things you imagine you are doing for the first time. I mean, after you keep on eating gulab jamuns throughout your life, you don't even realize that you are using senses, or anything. My goal is only to enjoy rasagulla. Whether I'm using my
Developed into a knowledge now, because you said Rasgulla so many times. You already know now by default from that senses.
Yeah.
That is turned into knowledge that Rasgulla is going to be sweet.
Yeah.
So that's now stored as knowledge.
Of course, yes, yes.
Yeah. So this of sense helps you get that knowledge.
Yeah. So basically you use your senses to acquire knowledge about things. That is sense perception or pratyaksha praman. And then the second method of before going to second method, so we said we use our senses to acquire knowledge, but is that perfect? Is that perfect? For example, you give sugar to a person who is suffering from jaundice. What will he say? It tastes bitter. You're giving sugar to him, but he says it's bitter. So where is the problem here?
Because that depend upon person, depend upon the thing.
Depends on the condition of that person. Okay, depends on the condition of his senses. Okay, so his senses are not in good state. That's why he cannot taste sweet as sweet. Even though he's tasting sweet, it tastes bitter. Okay, so that means our senses are not perfect. Our senses are not perfect. You are seeing something, you are tasting something, you are eating something, you are tasting or you're touching something, but whatever is your understanding, it may be correct or may not be correct, because our senses are imperfect. So for example, this tree here, okay? So some people can be illusioned that it's actually a tree, okay? If you look from far, it's actually a tree. But what do you see here?
The faces are there.
The faces are there, okay? There is Nehru, Gandhi, Tilak, Subhash Chandra Bose, I guess. Actually, as you look deeper, there are, it reveals many faces. At first glance, you may be able to see only 4 or 5 faces. But if you focus more attentively, there are more faces that are revealed. At the bottom of the tree also there are 2 faces. On the side there is 1. Okay.
Total 9 faces.
9 faces. Okay, Mahi counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can count 10.
I can count 11.
You can count 11.
Even I can count 10. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Tanuka also says 10.
I can say
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
10.
See, we have 9, 10, 11. This itself is a proof that our senses are not perfect. Okay. So that means any knowledge that we acquire using our senses is not perfect.
Last one, Sarojini's line, down.
I think Indira Gandhi.
Yeah, beside Indra Gandhi, beside Sarojini.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
The left one?
Yeah, left.
10, 11, 12.
Okay.
12 actually.
Okay, the numbers are increasing. Just like the cricket score, the numbers are increasing. The more you see, the more confusion arises. Okay. Yeah, first you focus only on the top, maybe 3 or 4, right? Yeah. 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 So, good. So this itself is a proof that senses are not perfect. And the first method, pratyaksha praman or sense perception, is not the perfect way of acquiring knowledge because it leads to imperfect knowledge. Because our senses are imperfect, it leads to imperfect knowledge. Okay, and we cannot see mind and intelligence. That's why science, they deny the existence of mind. Okay, they acknowledge the brain because they can see it, the gray matter. They can see the 400 grams of gray matter. If you measure your brain, it's 400 grams. But it's capable of storing the information of all the libraries in the world. That's the power of brain. Okay, we cannot see intelligence, but they exist. So we have 4 defects: imperfect senses, they are illusion, we tend to make mistakes, and cheating propensity. Human beings have cheating propensity. These are the 4 limitations or defects of the senses. So sense perception is imperfect. It leads to imperfect knowledge. Now the next one. So after pratyaksha praman, now anuman praman. So as Tanuka mentioned, right? Speculation.
Yeah.
So anuman praman is speculation. So you use your logic or analytical understanding to acquire knowledge. So based on your past experience with something and based on some knowledge that you have about various other things, when you see an incident or some object, you speculate, saying that, oh, this could be so and so, or this could be so and so. You know, you speculate. You start speculating. For example, you're driving your car, and from far distance you see smoke coming out in the air. Okay, then you start speculating. So there is smoke. That means there must be fire. Maybe there's a fire accident, or you can also analyze, saying that there might be a factory that is extinguishing smoke. So these are the different possibilities that you can come up with. You're basically speculating based on your past knowledge of things. You're speculating. Anuman praman. So for example, in this picture, you see 5 different blind people, six different blind people. They're trying to understand what is there in front of them. Okay, because they are blind people, right? So they don't know whether it is an elephant or what it is. So different people are touching different parts of the elephant, and they're coming to different conclusions. So a person who is holding the tail, his understanding is it must be a rope. It must be a long rope. Okay, when it's long, and maybe based on his past knowledge and experience, rope is always long and thin like that. So that is what he's concluding. And a person who is touching the body of the elephant is thinking it must be a wall, because it's hard. Okay, it must be a wall. Now somebody who is touching the ears of the elephant, they must be thinking it must be a
It's sift.
What is that?
That sift which is used to blow the rice separate the rice from that.
From stones, right?
The traditional way of
Chata.
Like how you will
Yes.
in the rice.
Yeah, soup.
Yeah.
हिंदी में soup बोलते हैं.
I'm not doing
Thank you.
Yeah. I think in Hindi we call it a soup. Yeah. They might be thinking that way. And the person who is holding the legs, they must be thinking pillars. Yeah, pillars. And then the person who is holding the trunk, they can say maybe a knife, sword or knife, because it's kind of sharp, right? And then the person who is holding the no, not the trunk. The other one was the husk, right? Husk. Yeah, husk. And now person who is holding the trunk, he thinks of something else. So different people, it's the same object, perceived differently by different people. Now let me ask you a question. Are they correct or not in their understanding? No. Okay, no. Is there anyone
Yes,
who say-
Yes, they
Yes.
process
There's somebody saying yes. Very good. Who is that?
it's Mahi.
Mahi. You are saying yes, right?
Yes, actually, their perspective, it's yes.
Why are you saying yes?
They are blind people, right? So they don't know, right?
They're blind. Okay. So they are neither correct nor wrong. They're partially correct. Because based on their senses, they are coming to some conclusion. They're partially correct. They're neither fully correct nor fully wrong. Okay. Oh yeah, this picture explains what they are perceiving them as. So there's a wall, a trunk of a tree, and then a tail, the rope, and snake is that trunk, and then the husk is a arrow or sword, and then the ears are like fan. Okay. Okay. So now we know that applying logic and analytical understanding is also imperfect. Okay. I know this example talks about blind people, but even if a person is not blind, but if you apply logic and speculate, it leads to imperfect knowledge. So the third one is Shabda Praman. So what are the other two different ones? Anuman, okay, and the one before that?
sense.
Sense perception. Okay. What is the Sanskrit word for that? Pratyaksha Praman. Yeah. Pratyaksha Praman, Anuman Praman, Shabda Praman. Okay. So Shabda Praman is sound. Hearing from authority. Shabda is sound. Okay. As Arushika. See, I don't know, maybe I have to say it 10 times or 20 times to remember your name. Arushika. Yeah. As Arushika said, you need to hear from gurus, instructions, books, scriptures. Okay. Shabda Praman, hearing from authority. So there can be two different types of authorities, right? Material authority and spiritual authority. So material authority is like scientists. So you hear from scientists, E equals to mc squared, or the value of pi is so and so, and the distance between Earth and sun planet is so and so million kilometers. Or you also hear from scientists that the Earth is a globe, like a globe. So that is material authority. Hearing from scientists or anybody in the material world, anyone who you accept as authority. These are all. This is one example of authority, material authority. But there's a problem with that, right? So scientists, once they said the Earth is flat, and then later on they corrected saying that no, it's not flat, it's round like a globe. and then they keep on changing, right? So after 500 years or so, they might say, no, Earth is flat. So anything in medicine, science, technology, it always keeps on changing. So whatever they said today, even though you might consider it as authority, material authority, but that information will be changing over a period of time. As time progresses, that information will be changing. So this is also not perfect. The material authority is not perfect, but within the Shabda Pramana, there is spiritual authority. So if you accept spiritual authority, learn from Guru, hear from Guru, or read from scriptures, then that is that's a permanent knowledge. That's a perfect way of acquiring knowledge, and that is permanent. It does not change. Okay, it's timeless wisdom. Timeless wisdom means it was applicable in the past. Past means millions and trillions of years ago. It is applicable in the present moment, and it will be applicable for time infinity. It will be applicable for time infinity, for all the years and ages to come. Okay, not just 10 years or 100 years or 1,000 years, but for time infinity. So this is an example of Shabda Praman. So if a child wants to know who the father is, so there are two approaches, right? One is the child can do a DNA of 1,000, 10,000 people and figure out. And the child will never be able to, may never be able to figure out who the father is. But the simplest and best method of acquiring that knowledge, who is my father, is simply asking the mother. Okay. So this is authority. The child is accepting mother as authority and acquiring knowledge about father. Similarly, just like how the child asked, who is my father? Okay. So the answer to all these questions, who is God? Who am I? What is matter? What is spirit? What's the purpose of my existence? So the answers to all these questions can be acquired using Shabda Praman from Vedas. Okay. Two systems of gaining knowledge, inductive and deductive. Okay. So Arohana, Avarohana. You can also say
I have one question.
Yes, Mangesh.
So when we say the Shabda Praman will have knowledge in Vedas,
yeah,
what is the basis of kind of that saying that it will be available, that knowledge in Vedas? Or Vedas must be written by someone, right? And how do we know that is written by God, or it's available since kind of start of the human evolution?
Yeah. So your question is, how do we know that Vedas are correct?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So as we said in the beginning of the class, right? So this is not a blind faith. Just like science also starts with faith, spirituality or religion also starts with faith. But it is not blind faith. There is a process to verify this process. And as Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 2, Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukam Kartumavyayam. So there Krishna says, Pratyakshaavagamam. Pratyakshaavagamam means, Pratyaksha means direct. Okay, Pratyaksha Avagamam means you can perceive this knowledge by your own self-realization. You can perceive this knowledge by your own self-realization. So Krishna gives the knowledge, Krishna gives process of verifying this knowledge. Okay, whatever knowledge he imparts in Bhagavad Gita, like I'm not this body, I'm the spirit soul, and I'm part and parcel of God. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So all these things, Krishna gives knowledge of various things. So there are 5 different topics that Krishna teaches about. And then in the middle of Bhagavad Gita, before he further explains more confidential knowledge and higher knowledge, Krishna says, this knowledge, you can perceive it by your self-realization. So the process to know if Vedas are genuine or not is by reading the Vedas, by following it, and then verifying the results by yourself. For example, there's a saying in Vedas, right? Cow dung is antiseptic. Okay. Now, how do you verify that? How do you verify that?
No, I didn't hear that. What's to verify?
So in Vedas, it is mentioned cow dung is antiseptic. Okay. So how do you verify that?
Simplest way is when you make yourself up, instead of applying an antiseptic, you can try using cow dung directly,
Yeah.
and you can see the healing effects.
You apply the cow dung and then you see the results. Yes, very good. Okay. So as Krishna said, pratyakshaavagamam, you perceive this knowledge by your own self-realization, direct realization. So to know if cow dung is antiseptic or not, you apply it. You apply it in front of your, in the courtyard, in the front courtyard, and then you see the results. There will not be any bacteria, no mosquitoes, nothing. Then you come to a conclusion that, okay, whatever Vedas are saying is correct. And Vedas, 5,000 years ago, Vedas mentioned that Kali Yuga suffers from so many problems. What are the two symptoms of this age, Kali Yuga? What's the meaning of the word Kali Yuga? Comes from the word Kalaha. Yeah, what does Kalaha mean? Fighting. Okay.
Tension.
Tension. Fighting.
Tension.
Yeah. So fighting and hypocrisy are the two symptoms of this Kali Yuga. Okay. So if somebody is fighting with you, then don't be surprised. Don't be shocked. That's the nature of the people in this world. Even if your own brothers, sisters, parents, or your own child is fighting with you, don't be shocked. That's the nature of this world. So whatever was mentioned 5,000 years ago, now we are seeing that is happening. Okay. So like that, there are many things mentioned in Vedas. So you start observing them and you start applying those in your own life, then you see the results by yourself. Similarly, the knowledge about God given in Vedas. So you read the Vedas and you inquire from Guru and you practice the process given, then you can see the results by yourself. Sudhakar has a question. He's thinking seriously.
No, I think my question was, how did it came initially? Like it came from Krishna, that's what he said.
Yes.
Vedas.
Yeah. All the Vedas are, everything emanated from Krishna. Yeah. Krishna says, Aham Sarvasya Prabho. Sarvasya Prabho. Sarvasya means everything. Everything means all the people, trees, living and non-living things. Vedas, everything emanated from him.
Before Krishna, there was also life before Krishna, also, right? How did those people?
Yeah. I'll answer your question 1 second. So Mangesh, so whatever I explained, does that answer your question?
Yeah, basically whatever is written in Veda, we use that knowledge or apply that knowledge and see whether that, basically we can verify that.
Yes.
And that's how we can get the Shabda Praman.
Yeah, exactly. So just like when you go to a doctor, with some disease, right? Let's say you have a fever and then you go to a doctor. Then the doctor prescribes some medicine. Now you don't ask the doctor, how do I know that whatever prescription you are giving is genuine or not? Okay. So, I mean, you use some of your reasoning, some speculation, you use the other two pramans also, your pratyaksha and anuman praman also, right? You apply those two methods of acquiring knowledge also. But ultimately, you accept the doctor as authority. And the only way of verifying the results is you take the medicine. Only when you take the medicine, you can see the results by yourself. Now, you cannot question the doctor and saying that unless you prove me that whatever your prescription you are saying is genuine, I will not take the medicine. The doctor will say, hell with you.
Yeah. You can experience, right?
You can experience.
Yeah. So you take the knowledge.
You take the medicine and then you experience it. Yeah. So you swallow this knowledge and then you can experience the results by yourself.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So Sudhakar, you were saying.
Yeah, before Krishna, like Vedas.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Thank you.
Before Dwapara Yuga, also some Vedas are there.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
At that time, there is no need required, right? Everybody has Devadas and something.
So Krishna is the supreme creator. So he is the origin of all the creation. Now, our understanding of creation is, so you are saying Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago in Dwapara Yuga. Okay, that is only our understanding. But if you look at the time frame of different yugas, and there are 4 yugas first of all: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Okay, the age of Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. Okay, and the age of Dwapara Yuga is 2 times 432,000 multiplied by 2. Okay, 864 something, right? And then the age of Treta Yuga is 432,000 multiplied by 3 times, whatever the number is. And then the Satya Yuga is 4 times multiplied by 4 times of Kali Yuga age, 432,000 multiplied by 4. So this is one cycle of yugas, one cycle of 4 yugas: Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali Yuga. One cycle of the yugas. And 1,000 such yugas, 1,000 cycles of such yugas is called one kalpa. Okay, and then and that is 1 day of Brahma, daytime, 1 day of Brahma. And another 1,000 such cycles of these 4 yugas is another kalpa, that is 1 night of Brahma. Okay, so 1 day of Brahma consists of 1,000 cycles of these 4 yugas, and 1 night of Brahma consists of 1,000 cycles of these 4 yugas. Now Brahma lives for 100 years. Okay, so 100 years means 100 times
1,000 times.
2,000 times. 100, not 2,000. 1,000 times 1,000.
2 kalpas actually. So
Huh?
2 kalpas.
2 kalpas.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100 times 1,000 times 1,000.
Yeah, depending on the, like we say that
But how many days in a year?
is the year. From the year is like 365. Do we consider 365 or what?
Brahma's one year.
Yes.
Let's assume no, not 1 year, not 365 days, right? Brahma's 1 day.
1 year.
1 day consists of 1,000 cycles of these 4 yugas. Plus Brahma's 1 night, another 1,000 cycles of these 4 yugas.
So 2,000 is one complete day.
Yeah.
Day and night. 1 day and night is 2,000. Right?
Yeah.
And now 100 years of Brahma's age. So how much is the year? Like 1 day and 1 night is.
So that is the sum of 432,000 plus 864,000 plus whatever the other 2 numbers are. Okay.
So basically what we're trying to understand.
It's such a big number. Yeah, go ahead.
Huge number. And as we understand, like, 1 day of Brahma is 2 kalpas. Kalpa, we already elaborated what is a kalpa. So 2 kalpa is equal to 1 day of Brahma.
Yeah.
And we don't know if 1 year of Brahma is 365 days, but if we do consider, then 365 times 2 kalpas is 1 year of Brahma. Now, if you have to consider 100 years of Brahma, that becomes 365 times 2 kalpas times 100. Now, that's the time frame of Brahma's lifetime.
Yeah. So it all boils down to 3.2 trillion years or something.
Human
Okay,
years.
some big number. Okay, so now we are only aware of Krishna appearing 5,000 years ago. Now, where did this 3.2 million years, coming from? And that is not the end, right? It is eternal. The jivas are eternal. Krishna is also eternal. Now, what's the definition of eternality? There's no beginning, there's no ending. No beginning, no ending. So that means you cannot say what was before Krishna. So when you say what was before Krishna, our understanding is that Krishna who appeared 5,000 years ago in Dwapara Yuga, right? But that is only one incarnation of Krishna, an avatar of Krishna to give some to relish his devotees and also to annihilate the miscreants. Okay, like
trying to say here is like what we understand, and when we say Krishna, people understand Krishna who's 5,000 years ago, who is actually the same, who's the original creator. So the Krishna who appeared 5,000 years ago actually appeared in his exact same form how he is in Vrindavan Govardhan. So who is eternal? So what we understand 5,000 years ago did not actually begin 5,000 years ago. It's exactly like that eternally.
Yeah. So all our jivas, we exist eternally. So you cannot put, was there a point when only Krishna was there and none of us were there? And then on one fine day, Krishna decided to create all the living entities. No, we existed eternally and Krishna also existed eternally.
I think one thing that I would like to add is the same question was asked by Arjuna to Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, like
Chapter 4, right? Yeah.
When Krishna says that, I gave the same knowledge to the sun god, and then he asks, like, the age of sun god is much more than you, then how can you say that you imparted this knowledge firstly to sun god and then it came down there, and then he explains that.
Yeah. So Krishna says, both you and I have taken many births. You don't remember any of that, but I remember everything. I remember the past, present, and future. So Krishna knows what happened in your previous life, what's happening in the current life, and what's going to happen in your next life, and many lifetimes after that. So that Krishna, that original Krishna, to put in some words, right? You cannot even say original Krishna. But just for some understanding, let's say original Krishna, the initial Krishna, because you cannot apply the chronological dates to explain, God and living entities. It's called ontological. Ontological processes to understand God without timeline, without the past, present, and future timeline. You cannot say that, okay, on so-and-so date, this happened. And before that, something else happened. And after that, something else happened. You cannot put a date or timeline to God and the living entities, because it is eternal. By definition, there's no beginning and there's no end. You cannot explain these things using chronological events. You have to understand these using ontological process. Okay. So ontological processes, for example, sun rays do not appear without the sun disk. Sun rays do not appear without sun disk. Now, somebody might say, right? Did the sun exist first, or the sun rays, come first? It's like chicken first or egg first, So Krishna, we discussed that in the previous class, right? So who is the cause? Yeah. So, but Krishna is the one who is the cause of both chicken and egg. Okay. So for that, sun disk is the cause. But for sun disk and sun rays, Krishna is the cause. So just like that sun disk example and sun rays example, the jivas, even though they are eternal, but they cannot exist without Krishna. Okay. So just remember that Krishna and Jivas are eternal, but Jivas cannot exist without Krishna. Yeah.
Like Krishna says, I remember a lot of words, right? Lot of words, like it's a,
Lot of birds.
yeah,
Birth. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't remember like since one day like what happened yesterday, but
Yeah.
sometimes we remember all this stuff. Like so many minutes. Huh?
He's God.
Yeah, but he created the brain for us, right?
Yeah.
God created, right? We used to have some power of it, right?
Yeah.
So it can store the 1,000 libraries inside, right?
Not only
So
1,000. Information of all the libraries in the world.
Right?
Yeah.
So we forgot easily, quickly, right?
Hmm?
So what happened yesterday, we forgot it today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is that so much weakness in mind?
No, that information is there, but the ability to remember that is not there. It has some limitation because of our senses. So our senses are, there are 5 senses: hearing,
Yeah. I see, touch.
touching, smelling, tasting, and then seeing. 5 senses, and then there is mind.
Yeah.
Mind is also a sense which is part of the subtle body. There is gross body and subtle body. Subtle body consists of mind, ego, and false ego, and intelligence. Okay. So even though that information is there, information of all the libraries in the world is there in the brain, but the power or ability to remember that is not there, because the senses are imperfect. Senses are imperfect. See, if you look at Satya Yuga or Treta Yuga, or maybe to some extent Dwapara Yuga also, right? The attention span and retention power was much higher. Now, have you heard of these names? Dvivedi, Trivedi, Chaturvedi. Dvivedi is one who memorized 2 Vedas. Trivedi is one who memorized 3 Vedas. And Chaturvedi is one who memorized 4 Vedas. In the ancient times, people used to remember everything, and they used to retain that. There were no handwritten things, right? But now in Kali Yuga, the attention span is very short, and also the ability to remember things is very poor. That's why we don't.
Now also there exists a brain condition, like some people have it, like they can actually remember every second of their life. Like if you give them a time, they can tell exactly what they were doing at that point of time in life. I mean, I've seen this something on like this on a YouTube video. So
Okay.
that's sort of like a brain condition. They can actually retain the entire information. They can, I mean, the video that I saw, it even showed the person saying what news they watched at what time of their life. I don't
Yeah, there are
exactly
some people who, I mean, even now, even in Kali Yuga, right? If you practice this process of retaining,
Yoga and all.
not only Ashtanga Yoga, right? Because we have some girls or some young boys and girls who memorized entire Bhagavad Gita, 700 shlokas. They memorized entire Bhagavad Gita, and not only just memorizing and reciting them in order, right? They can recite them in different orders. You know, they can recite shlokas from end to beginning, or in different process. There is a process called Ashtavadanam, Shatavadanam. Ashtavadanam is the ability to remember 8 different things. Okay, let's say there's a huge assembly, and then 8 different people ask different questions to that person who has practiced, who have mastered the skill. Now, that person has to remember all the 8 questions and the order in which they ask those questions, and he should be able to answer them in the specific order. And Shatavadani is 100 questions, who can remember 100 different things at a time. So like that, there are people who can practice and master the skill of memory.
So the God gave power to all, everyone equal, right?
Yes.
But some people do, some cannot do.
Yeah.
Because they practice it.
Yes. So how you use it basically, you have $100,000 in your account. Other person also has $100,000. So how you use that money is different from how he uses, the other person uses.
One time I heard that how we forget is actually like a grace, like I heard, I don't remember where, but somewhere it said that like forgetting is something that God gave mercy to us.
Yeah, that's in a different context. God gives forgetfulness to forget your past life miseries or even some miseries from a current life. God gives forgetfulness to forget those things, and God gives forgetfulness to forget Krishna himself. So if somebody wants to engage in sinful activities, first of all, they have to forget Krishna. If you are remembering God, you cannot engage in sinful activities. So God gives forgetfulness to forget himself. So that's in a different context. So yeah, with some practice, people can master this memory and retention power. Avadhanam is basically remembering and memorizing and retaining. Okay. So there are so many people, who can master the skill of Avadhanam. I mean, there are some kids who can answer to questions in this Bhagavad Gita. Like if you say shloka number, okay? Now there are 700 shlokas, right? If somebody says what is chapter 5, verse shloka 29, okay, then it is easy to say. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam, you can say that verse. But somebody just tells the number, 137th shloka. What is that? Now they had to calculate what is 137th shloka. There are 18 chapters, 700 verses. First chapter has so many verses. Second chapter has so many verses. Where does this 137th shloka, land up? They have to do all this in a second. You cannot take like, okay, give me 10 minutes.
Say in alphabets, we cannot say what the letter is, like which number for the letter.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So you cannot start counting. Okay, A is 1, B is 2, like that. So yeah. So there are different techniques these people use. In fact, for this Gita Jayanti, coming up Gita Jayanti on December 3rd, there are some people in Seattle, actually, some kids. So we're going to invite them and showcase this skill in the temple. Okay, so it's 12:48. Okay, so we have to rush through these slides. I think I stopped sharing. Okay.
But one question I have, so one thing you said that something we can verify from Veda.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that you talked about, that there are kalpas and so many kalpas forms a day and things like that. So those we cannot verify. So how do we kind of know that that's a true?
So you cannot verify the exact numbers, and you don't need to. And first of all, you don't even have the power and ability to verify those numbers.
Our lives are limited.
Our lives are limited, but you come to an understanding. See, we looked at those numbers just to understand the magnitude of eternality. When we say eternal means no beginning and no end, but just to try to understand the magnitude and the length of the eternality, we looked at those numbers. It doesn't mean you have to verify, okay, does Kali Yuga really have 432,000 years? Okay, so first of all, we only live up to 50, 60, 70 years. Okay, and then after that, in the next life, you don't remember your past life. So there is no way of calculating the age of Kali Yuga. Okay, you may be able to live until the end of Kali Yuga, but the goal is to go back to Krishna in this lifetime itself. But if you're not, you may be able to live up to the end of Kali Yuga, but you don't remember anything. You don't remember from your previous life to calculate what's the age of Kali Yuga. Okay. But if you look at other principles given in Vedas, like cow dung is antiseptic and several other things which you can verify, then you come to an understanding and conclusion that, okay, so these Vedas are genuine. I must put my faith in these Vedas. Just like GPS, right? You are going from Bothell to Mount Rainier. Now, let's say, imagine you are doing that for the first time. You are using GPS for the first time in your life. So now you start driving and then enter the address as Mount Rainier. And then as you are driving, you can see the exit numbers, right? Exit 124, 125, and so on. And your GPS is also showing the same numbers. Then your faith level increases. Okay. It doesn't mean you keep on checking on every exit. Oh, that is 125th. Okay, good. Checked. Next 126. Okay, checked. You don't do that, right? You don't keep on doing that until you reach Mount Rainier. After few initial phases of verification, you develop strong faith in the GPS. And after that, you don't look at the GPS until Mount Rainier is reached. So
if you find God, you also get all the knowledge of whatever God has.
Yes,
yeah,
it's a revealed knowledge. As you said, it's revealed knowledge.
Yeah.
If you follow the process strictly and seriously, and then you understand God, then all the knowledge is revealed to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like Dhruva, right?
Yeah.
Dhruva, when he chanted Vishnu's name continuously, right? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and then when Vishnu appeared, he just put his hand on Dhruva's head, and then all the knowledge is revealed, and Dhruva started chanting all the Vedic mantras that he never learnt of those before. So it's a revealed knowledge. When you understand God, everything is revealed to you. Yeah.
And also you can remember his past life also. If he gives that power also.
There is no need to remember. Yeah.
There's no beginning, no end.
When you understand God, your goal is only to remember God.
Okay.
You have no business of remembering your past life or anything else.
You can't remember.
Once you've seen the ultimate happiness, why would you want to go back to the miseries?
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
You don't know
So,
how many miseries you had in previous lives, right?
yeah.
Why would you have?
No, I can forward the movie backward, front, and they can see what happened. It's a movie, right?
But what's the goal of forwarding and backwarding?
No, I like some tragedy in that action in the movie. So I can go there, watch it and come back. So the God enjoys like that only, right? He's a creator.
So when you reach destination, when you reach Mount Rainier, would you go back, open your GPS and see, oh, did I pass 124 exit? Did I pass 125th exit?
Yeah, this is a movie, right? This is a cosmic movie.
Yeah.
So I go second time movie. Some movie is good, I can go second time, right? They want to watch third movie.
Sorry to interrupt. What
Yeah,
I'm trying
go.
to say here is what you are saying or what we are trying to explain here is the movie for everybody is one, it is different. For somebody it ends at 10 minutes, somebody it ends at 20, somebody it goes up to 3 hours. Okay. So when you're talking about movie, the second thing that you're talking about movie is like we're talking in terms of time frame.
Right.
And when you're talking about Krishna and achieving God and going back to Godhead and whatsoever, there once you achieve that kind of happiness, there is no time frame.
No time, no space, nothing. Right?
There is no time.
Yeah.
There is no concept. The concept of time is for us. This movie going forward and backward is for us. It's not in the Golab Dham.
No, I go highest, but I still can go lower also. Because I can go both up and down.
Okay, so what's the purpose of going
You don't
lower?
have control.
When you said movie, okay, you want to go backward to enjoy some scenes, right? So what's the goal there?
You want to control or
Nothing, but I'm saying
Happiness, right? Happiness.
Huh?
Happiness, right?
Uh-huh.
The purpose of the intention of going back and look at some scenes is to enjoy those scenes again and again. Happiness. You want to get happiness, right?
Yeah.
You want to relish that and you want to experience that happiness again and again.
Yeah.
But when you have God,
Highest one, why do
you have the highest, the ultimate happiness. And you will not even want to look back and see what happened. No tragedy, no happiness. You don't even want to go back and look at it. Yeah, when you have the ultimate thing, the ultimate happiness, the true happiness and bliss, you don't want to go back at all.
But I still have access to both up and down, right?
You may have access.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what
you
I
may have
mean.
access.
Okay, yeah.
You may or may not have access. Okay.
No, I will have it because I already know him, right?
You know him, but unless Krishna grants you the power to go back in time and look, you cannot see. Yeah. Okay. And Krishna gives that that power only to special people, not to everyone. Okay. That we'll discuss in next class. Who am I? Okay.
Prabhuji, 1 minute more.
1 second. 1 second. 1 second. She has a goal. She has the highest goal. She's inspiring everyone. She has the highest goal.
That 1 minute comes with all the hard work.
Yes.
If you work so much hard work,
Correct.
do japa all the time,
Yes.
then you at the end of the life, we remember the God at that 1 second.
Yes, that 1 second comes from one lifetime of
That's
hard
why
work.
I got it out like this much hard work we need to
Yeah.
do. Why we get in 1 second? Like,
Yes, lifetime of hard work. Okay. Okay, so there are two systems of gaining knowledge: inductive, deductive. Arohana and avarohana. Arohana is descending. Avarohana is ascending, climbing up. Avarohana. So what scientists follow is avarohana, ascending knowledge. Okay, they start with something, and then they come up with more knowledge and more understanding. Okay, and
We are not seeing the slides.
okay, let me share. So what scientists follow is avarohana, ascending process, and what spirituality follows is arohana, inductive. Sorry, deductive. Yeah, deductive. So deductive is coming from authorities down to us, and scientists inductive. They have something, they observe something, they do some experiments, and then through inductive process they come up with something big, some big theory, or some big conclusions. So inductive process, trying to find the truth by one's own endeavor or speculation. And deductive process, descending, is what Arushika said. Is it correct? Arushika, right? Yeah. Okay, I got it now. Avaroha Paddhati, hearing from the master, accepting spiritual authority, hearing from Guru, hearing from scriptures. Reading scriptures is also same as hearing. Okay, to learn the truth by accepting an authority and inquiring from him. So there is an analogy given. How can an ant living in one corner of the classroom know about the classroom itself? Okay, so now you go and find where is the ant in this room and ask the ant, do you know about this room? So the famous example, right? The frog sitting in a well thinks that that's the entire world. Okay, the frog does not know outside that well, what is there outside the well, the frog does not know. So the ant is too small and has limited sense perception. That's why it is not capable of knowing beyond that particular small area in the room, a small corner of the room. So just like how an ant cannot know about this entire room, sitting in one corner, the ant cannot know about the entire room. Similarly, we are tiny particles like that ant in a corner of the room. We are tiny particles. How can we know about God? who is very gigantic and eternal, who is the creator of this universe. So our proposal is give a chance to the descending method of acquiring knowledge, the Shabda Praman. And what is the process of acquiring knowledge? Through Shabda Praman is given in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 34. Tad viddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Samit, can you read this translation? Read out loud. No, you can do it, right? No? The English translation.
This one.
Not the Sanskrit, but the English one. Okay. Now, Jyoti.
Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth.
Yeah. So the process is approaching a spiritual master, accepting him as a bona fide guru, and render some service to him and inquire. Inquire with a submissive mode, not in a challenging mood or argumentative mood, but in a submissive mode. First of all, that guru may be genuine or may not be genuine. Okay. So you will verify through your process of inquiring and acquiring knowledge. So, but you start with faith, saying that he is a bona fide guru, and then you approach him with a submissive mode, you render some service to him, and then ask questions. And then you hear from him and then verify. Does it make sense? The guru is saying he is God. Okay. Now you hear from him and you verify. Does it make sense or not? Now, how do you verify? We have the criteria for God, right? Madhav, what is the criteria for God?
Cause of all causes, supreme proprietor, and supreme enjoyer.
Yeah, supreme creator, supreme proprietor, supreme controller, supreme enjoyer. Now, let's say there is a self-proclaimed God man who is posing himself as a guru, but he's saying, I am God. Okay. Now, how do you verify that? You apply these 4 criteria and verify, is he really God or not? Then you know whether he's a bona fide guru or not. Okay. There was this, bogus guru. It was long time ago. Once I happened to go to that place, and there it is mentioned, I am not here to say that I am God. I am here to say that you are God. Okay. Now, when you look at that, you will think that, oh, this person must be genuine. He's not saying he's God. He's saying I am God. He must be genuine. Let me go and surrender to him. People get trapped so easily like that. Now, the purpose of those people is to put those quotations like that and trap people. It looks very genuine, right? When you read that, I'm not here to say that I am God. I'm here to say that you are God. So people, fall for it and then they go surrender to him. So the truth is neither he is God nor we are God. Okay. So the advantage of hearing from spiritual authority is saves time and it's very convenient. Just like the child who wants to know who is the father, either the child can do DNA of thousands of people and find the truth, or simply ask the mother and find the truth. And this is the best choice we have. Now somebody may ask, or Mangesh asked, right? How do we know that Vedas are true? How do we know that Vedas are true? Or why should we accept Vedas as the Shabda Praman? But what else do you have? Do you have any other choice? No, we don't have any other choice. this is the best choice you have. It may be the perfect choice or not. That time will tell. When you start with some faith and then follow the process and verify the results and experience the results by yourself, then you will come to a conclusion whether this choice is the best choice or not. Okay. Test of authority and other ways of verifying, Shabda Praman is the perfect way of acquiring knowledge or not, is test of authority, time-tested principle. There are time-tested principles, right? Like cow dung is antiseptic. It does not change from time to time. Okay. So that is the test. It has stood the test of time. Okay. Irrespective of the present, the past, present, and future, that holds good for all times. Okay. Opinions does not change. It has stood the test of time. It has not been proven wrong. Just like scientists said initially Earth was flat and then later on they corrected it. And even in medicine, they recall the medicine, right? After some time, they recall the medicine saying that, oh, this is not applicable anymore. So unlike those things, the Shabda Praman does not change their opinion and it has stood the test of time. Vedas means knowledge. The word Veda comes from the root word with. With means to know. The root word with is a Sanskrit word, means know, to know. So Vedas comes from the root word with, which means the knowledge, the scriptures, which are nothing but the sound vibration of God. They are not man-made. Okay. Vedas are called Apaurusheya. They are not man-made. They're coming from God himself. Apaurusheya. So Vedas teach about spirit, matter, controller of both. And there is a big flowchart here that shows different types of Vedas, Shruti and Smriti. Shruti is knowledge that is heard. Okay. Smriti is knowledge that is remembered. Okay. So in the Shruti category, we have Vedas, the four Vedas, Upavedas, Vedangas, and within Vedangas, so many subcategories. And in Smriti, we have Tantras, Panchatantras, Puranas, Itihasas, and then the Shad Darshanas, so many things. Okay. So Bhagavad Gita is both Shruti and Smriti. Srimad Bhagavatam is Smriti. It's Purana. Okay. And even Ramayana is also Smriti. Whereas Bhagavad Gita is both Shruti and Smriti. It was heard by Arjuna, and then it is passed on to the next generations through disciplic succession. Okay. So it is both Shruti and Smriti. Other Puranas like Bhagavad Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Ramayana, they are examples of Smriti. How do we know Vedas are true? Okay. So Mangesh asked, right? How do we know Vedas are true? It's universal knowledge, applies to everyone at all times, in all circumstances. At all times means not only in this yuga, not only in this yuga, not only the past, present, and future of this yuga, but in previous yugas, previous kalpas, and eternal. Okay, time infinity. Never changes, had stood the test of time. So Srimad Bhagavatam, it has a detailed description of how, the human embryology works. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is explained what happens on every day in the mother's womb, what happens to the fetus every day in the womb. So many details are given, and they are scientifically verifiable. Scientists are through ultrasound scanning and so many other things, they are verifying, okay, the child is, is smiling now, or, crying or whatever, right? They're able to explain those things. But this was already done in Vedas 5,000 years ago. So all these things, they help us put faith in Vedas. When you see cow dung is antiseptic, and when you see details of human embryology that was described 5,000 years ago, and today, they are able to, see those things by scientific experiments. Now you say that, oh, wait a minute, whatever scientists are saying today, with so much of scientific advancement, it was already given in Vedas 5,000 years ago. So let me put my faith in Vedas. Let me give a chance to Vedas. You come to that conclusion. Cow dung is antiseptic. Now the Western countries, they're fighting for patents on this. They're fighting for patents on this cow dung thing. But it was already given in Vedas long time ago. Yoga asanas, pranayamas. There are so many things that are given in Vedas that you can experiment and see results by yourself. So the music notes, the dance mudras given in Vedas, thousands of years ago, they are still using even today. My daughter did Arangetram, Bharatanatyam Arangetram in 2019. Okay. So all the dance mudras and, the dance steps that she learned, they were all given in Vedas thousands of years ago. The dance teachers who are teaching dance these days, it's all coming from thousands of years ago. The building architecture, psychology, astronomy, astrology, etiquette and behavior, art, medicine, Sanskrit language. So Vedas not only give knowledge about the gross matter, but also the subtle matter, which the science cannot do it, because science can only talk about things that they can see with their instruments. Okay, if they cannot see it, they just deny the existence of it. They cannot see mind, but that doesn't mean mind does not exist. And only Vedas can give knowledge about mind, intelligence, ego. These are the three components of the subtle body. The gross body is made up of the Pancha Mahabhuta, earth, water, air, fire, ether. Okay, even there we cannot see air and ether. We can only see earth, water, and fire. But the other two gross elements, even though they are gross, but they are subtler than the other three elements, which we cannot see. And the subtle body, we cannot even perceive this. So the point of saying all these things, that there are so many subtle things that we cannot see, but we believe that they exist. Okay, mind, false ego, intelligence. If somebody tells you that, okay, I cannot see intelligence, that's why you don't have intelligence. Okay, then we clearly understand that that person is a fool. So just because they cannot see intelligence, it doesn't mean you don't have intelligence. Similarly, just because we cannot see soul, it doesn't mean we are not the soul. Okay. the different topics in the spiritual realm. Yeah, this is what we were talking about, right? By following a process in Vedas, we get realization. So you start with some faith, you follow the process and see the results by yourself. Pratyakshavagaman, as Krishna said. And most of the times you can verify. See, when we start acquiring the spiritual knowledge, right? Okay, in the beginning, we start with the theory that I am not this body, I am a spirit soul. Now, that theory is not useful unless you get some practical realization of it. Unless you have wisdom of it, that theory is not useful at all. So you can verify the results as you progress on this path of bhakti. But most of the times you can verify this knowledge by symptoms, by looking at the symptoms. For example, when a person becomes sincere on this process of self-realization, over a period of time, you can see yourself. You're not angry like how you used to be angry before. Or you're not so passionate like how you are passionate, how you are going after money and other things in the past. So looking at the symptoms, you can see, you can verify, that, okay, so now I'm progressing and I'm on the path of this bhakti, I'm progressing and I can see the results to myself that I'm not completely acting on the bodily platform. I have not the complete realization of the soul, but at the same time, I'm not completely acting on the material platform or on the bodily platform. So you have some glimpses of the result of it. As you progress, you get glimpses of the result of it. When you become little bit free from anger and free from enviousness, all those things, looking at the symptoms, you can progress, you can measure your progress. And you will naturally feel happy, as you practice this bhakti yoga, you will naturally feel happy with you will become happy and peaceful. And not only us practicing this bhakti yoga, right? So many other saintly people, they have acquired this knowledge in the past and they have seen the results by themselves, by their self-realization. They have seen this. Some examples of the saintly people who have acquired this knowledge and obtained, wisdom. Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Nimbakarcharya, Vishnu Swami. These are the prominent acharyas of different sampradayas. Sri Ramanujacharya belongs to Sri Sampradaya. Madhvacharya, Madhva Sampradaya. And so on. Okay, what's the time and how many slides we have? Okay, almost. We're almost there. Why different scriptures? Okay, so there are so many scriptures, right? There is Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Quran, Bible, and so many scriptures. Okay, there is Shiva Puran, Vishnu Puran, Devi Puran, Garuda Puran, so many things, so many scriptures. If God is only one, why so many scriptures? What is the need of so many scriptures? Any answers? If God is only one, there should be only one book, right? Bhagavad Gita is enough to understand God. And so, but why so many scriptures and so many Different?
Ways to understand.
Different ways to understand. Okay.
Only same, but ways are.
Okay.
Different religion.
Hmm?
Different religion. Like, so suppose Western, they don't believe on Vedas, but Krishna, Jesus, they believe on Jesus.
So religion is only one. Religion is only one. It's called Sanatana Dharma. It's not Hinduism. It's not Islam. It's not Christianity. It's not Judaism or anything else. Religion is only one. Sanatana Dharma. It's called Sanatana Dharma, which is eternal.
I think I feel, suppose there is one question, one problem, and there is so many solution. So it is like that. Like we have, God is one, but there are so many ways to attend it. Like, no, that's why different books are there. So like even there is how you are holding your ears. You can hold it your ears straight, or you can hold it from back. So, but you are holding the ear. So that's what it is. Like you are following God, but there are different types of books, like different ways. So all the ways are correct, but whichever ways is good for you, you feel it is correct. That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. Anyone else? Okay, yeah, as Tanuka said, and also Abhinav, you said, right? Yeah. So there are different ways of knowing God. Different scriptures are to know God in different ways, based on the ability of people and based on the inclination of people. Some people may be inclined towards a particular aspect of God. Okay, and other people may be inclined towards other aspect of God. We discussed in the very beginning. No, we did not discuss, right? We're going to discuss in fourth topic. Who is God? Second topic is, does God exist? Third topic is, who am I? And fourth topic is, who is God? So when we come to the topic, who is God, we'll talk about different aspects of God. Okay, and there are three different aspects of Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. We'll discuss that in detail in fourth topic. But as you all said, right, there are different ways to know God in different ways. That is to know different aspects of God based on your inclination, based on what you are inclined to, based on your attitude, ability, or your inclination. There are different scriptures are available to know different aspects of God. Okay. So let's see what.
I have one question.
Yes, Sagarik.
So today I got to know. So my parents always say that we Sanatana Dharma. I've heard this name, but then I didn't know it's different from Hinduism. So can you tell a little bit about it? Like, what is the difference?
Yeah, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, these are all man-made religions.
Okay.
Okay, so first of all, the word Hindu was given by Pakistanis. Did you know that? It was given by Pakistanis. Okay, so these are all man-made religions. Hindu, Islam, Christianity, all other religions, these are all man-made. Now, after 5,000 years from now, there might be new names for these religions. You know, there may not be Hinduism at all or Christianity at all. There will be new names. So our original religion is Sanatana Dharma, eternal.
Okay.
So what is Sanatana Dharma? So first of all, what is Dharma? Dharma is religion or duty. And Sanatana Dharma is what is our eternal duty. What is our eternal duty? So you said, right, Jyotika, we are part and parcel of God. Okay, so God is the supreme creator, proprietor, controller, and enjoyer. And we are the tiny jivas. We are part and parcel of God. And the eternal dharma or the eternal religion or Sanatana Dharma is to serve God. To serve God with love and devotion. That is our eternal duty. Sanatana Dharma. There is no other Dharma. There is no other Dharma. To fulfill your own desires or to do paropakara, to do good to others. These are all not Sanatana Dharma. Okay, these are all dharmas. There is paradharma and parodharma. Paradharma is your occupational duties. Okay, whatever you have to do to maintain your body and livelihood and family, that is paradharma. Parodharma is the highest religion, highest dharma, highest duty is to love God, to serve God. So is that clear, Sagarika?
Yes, today I realized that it's different. I never knew this thing. So I'm like getting shocked with every lecture I attend. I'm hearing something new. I'm like, did I even know anything?
Yeah. So don't say shocked. You're getting pleasantly surprised.
Okay, yeah, pleasantly surprised.
If you get shocked, you will run away. Yes, you will be pleasantly surprised. Yeah. See, first of all, God, if you ask somebody who is God, what's the definition of God? They'll not have a definition. They'll not have an answer to that. They might say God is light, or God is this, God is that, or I don't even know. You know, God is something I pray up to. I pray to Him, and you know, when I'm in difficulty, I look up to Him. But there is no. Huh?
Is it just experience? Some people experience God.
They have some vague definition. Okay, as you say, they have some experience which they cannot put into words, or they have vague definition of God. But there is no clear definition of God in the so-called Hindu religion or in other religions. Only Sanatana Dharma has the correct definition. Okay, so let's.
So that means we all belong to Sanatana Dharma. Like,
who all
like in religion and all, if I've ever filled anything, I have filled in the forms Hindu, because I always thought I was a Hindu.
Yeah.
But today I realized that it's Sanatana Dharma.
Yeah, you're not Hindu. You're not
Hindu.
You have a new religion from today onwards.
No, my parents have always said that. I think they take some Dikha or something in that, right? In Sanatana Dharma, like I have not taken that, but my parents have. So I've heard this term, but I never knew that what it meant.
Yeah. So we're almost ending. You may not need this. Okay. So yeah, so you have a new religion. Probably we'll discuss more in fourth topic. Okay. So keep your enthusiasm until that. So let's quickly finish. So even though there are different scriptures, the essence is same. Okay. So externally they may appear to be different, but the essence is same. God is one, the source of everything. Obedience to the laws of God, service to God, love of God, return to kingdom of God. All these scriptures, they talk about these principles. The essence is same. The way how they are presented may be different, but the essence is same. So same thing presented in different ways. Love thy God with all thy soul and thy might. And the word Islam, the word itself means complete surrender. And the same thing Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 18. Sarva dharman parityaja. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Chanting of the holy name is there in all religions. Okay. So most of the times we think the chanting or japa is only in the so-called Hindu religion. Okay. Now I have to use that word make you all understand that.
But I think still wherever there is form and you have to fill, you will still fill Hindu, but because it's
Yeah.
that's the only choice. we
That's
have.
the only choice. That's the only best choice we have. Yeah. So, but it is there. The chanting of holy names is there in Christianity and Islam, in other practices of religion. So, in Shabda Praman, we have this Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita as the most important scriptures. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is a law book, and Srimad Bhagavatam is a law journal. It has case studies of people, what happened if they followed the principles, and what happened if they did not follow the principles, how you can apply those in your own life. All those details are given in Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a journal. Just like a lawyer, he has a law book and law journal. Law book has all the sections, right? Section 402 or something like that. And then what happens to different people? What are some of the case studies with related to that particular case number that can be obtained in law journal? Okay. So to summarize, this is what we discussed in the last two classes, today's and previous class. Questions? I think we had enough questions already. But still, if there is any other question, we can take. Any question? Okay.
We forget God.
Huh?
Why we forget God?
Why we forget God? Okay. So we can discuss that while we are. Is Prasadam ready?
Yes.
Yeah. So we can sit in a circle and then.
Do our circle then.
Oh yes. Yeah. So today is the beginning of the auspicious month, Kartik. Okay. Not the Hindu Kartik. The Sanatana Dharma Kartik. Okay. Or as followed by ISKCON calendar. And today is Sharad Purnima. Sharad Purnima is the day when Krishna performs Rasa Leela. Okay. Today, if you come to ISKCON temple, they decorate the deities beautifully, and then I think there are also plannings from some Dandiya. Okay.
I have my online class.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this whole month is very auspicious, Kartik month. It's called Damodara Month also. In one of the days, we can talk about Damodara Month in detail. But what we generally do in this month, every day in the morning and evening, or whenever we get some time, we offer ghee lamp to Krishna, especially that form of Krishna where Mother Yashoda tied him to a grinding mortar. So that's why the name is given to Krishna as Damodara. Dama means a rope, and Udara is the waist. So that Krishna, who was bound by ropes around his waist by Mother Yashoda, is Damodara. So we celebrate that pastime in this month, 30 days, by lighting ghee lamps and singing Damodara Ashtakam. It's a compilation of 8 shlokas. So you can look at the shlokas in these pages here. People who are online, you cannot. I wish you are all in person here. But what we're going to do now is we're going to offer ghee lamps and sing this Damodara Ashtakam. So I can leave the conference like this, and then you all can see what we are doing. Hopefully that will inspire you to come in person. I can stop.